Hey squad! It's that day, it's finally here, we got there. It's the day of 138, but more importantly, it's the day of Chapter 6. So, let's see who's in the room for some despair today. I see Dark Morphord, Phoenix Miller, G-Dwarf, Fickle Muse, 3 Cats in a Trench Coat, Noj Livik, Sniper Pumpkin, Kavina, Anti-Craps Killer, Lady Lay, Cheeto Jack, Empyrean, MTV CDM, thank you for that cheer. And, oh, Kavina has resubscribed. Dangling Romps the Second. Yes, Dangling Romps the Second. Oh, I see G-Dwarf has written up a recap, which is great. Let's see, if I remember right, Nagito ended up murdered. And he orchestrated it himself so that anybody could have killed him. Chihiro ended up being that traitor. Everything went weird. We got into the academy building through some sort of password thing, and then everything bad happened. Everything bad happened. Hi, Sound of White Noise. Alright, so let's get started on Chapter 6. I have been told that if you're having a bad mental day, it is okay to nope out. And always nope out if you need to. Chapter 0. No, wait, we're supposed to be on Chapter 6 game. It would be wrong to say it was swaying from side to side. It was actually shaking rather intensely. The room I was in, it was shaking from side to side. The shaking was quite irregular. Just when you thought it was a series of small shakes, it would suddenly shake violently. And every time that happened, I'd have to steady myself with my foot. Couldn't stand up very well, but for me it was comforting. I never thought not knowing what to expect could be fun, so I was feeling rather excited. But I figured I'd get bored of that feeling soon enough. That's what I was expecting. For me, a person who is loved by talent, detecting regularities among irregularities won't be that difficult. And how boring. Do you like ships? On the other side of the dark room, I heard a voice. It was clearly directed at me. And Sir Oddington, having now followed. It looked like you were having fun, so that's what I assumed. You do like ships, right? Ships? That's right. This is a ship. Oh, you just realized that. Is that funny? Maybe you want? Care to talk a little? The silence was starting to bore me. Instantly, I saw his true character. The overfamiliar attitude and the friendly smile. But underneath the thin skin, I could detect a foul, offensive odor, like some kind of putrid slime. In a sensible way, though. You know, the most sensible of slimes. How should I put this? It was a smell exclusive to those who were already finished. Nice to meet you. I'm Nagito. Anyway, lucky me. It's been a while since anyone was willing to talk to me, so to share a room with a person like that. Yeah, definitely lucky. Lucky? So that's your talent then. What a boring talent. Boring talent. That's exactly what it is. But for someone I'm meeting for the first time to say that so suddenly. That's because I have luck as well. What? Even I possess a talent as boring as luck. Possess, huh? I'm starting to get really interested. Who are you? You're obviously from Hope's Peak Academy. So you're one of us? Oh, but that's weird. This is the first time I've ever seen you. Hey, can you tell me why you're here? How did you end up here? How boring. Ah, sorry, I'm often told I'm terrible at making conversation. No, not you. This world... Huh? This world is so boring. So many boring people. People who lack talent stick together and oppress those who do possess talent. Even though they know they're insignificant, they don't try to acknowledge their true superiors. They're profoundly desperate to drag them down to their level. And because of those bastards, this world has come to a deadlock. This world has stopped evolving. How boring. Well, the world is shaped by the will of the majority. Makes sense that it bends to those who lack talent. That's why we're in our present situation. Perhaps does that have anything to do with the reason why you're here? Boring people make no contributions to the world, not even a speck of dust. That's why my teachers taught me that a certain degree of selection must be performed. It's like they had high expectations for you, and it's completely different from me. But what are you planning to do now that you've ended up like this? There's nothing you can do, right? Listen well, using people is a talent too. It is now my turn to use that person, just as they used me in the past. That person? Are you talking about ultimate despair? But how? I mean, they're already... I have it with me. The contribution that person left to me. And even now it rests in my pocket. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I'm definitely lucky. I can't believe I'm speaking with someone as amazing as you. Then, will I be able to see her again? Will I be able to see the person I hate with every fiber of my being again? And this time, will I be able to kill her this time? The person I hate so much? Hate? Then, explain your hand. Ah, this. The end of that bandage is a woman's hand, right? Well, that's creepy. Isn't it amazing? I can't move it, of course. I mean, it's not my hand after all. But even now, it still hasn't rotted. Maybe that means it's becoming one with me. Isn't it amazing? I have successfully become one with ultimate despair, my sworn enemy. I see, so you salvaged the body. You really are a boring person. I don't want you to misunderstand. I just see her as my enemy, you know. Because she's my sworn enemy. Because I hate her so much. That's why I took her power. And for that I... Wait, huh? Do I hate her? That's strange. Oh, look out the window. We're finally here. You're starting to see it too, right? That's Jabberwock Island, isn't it? Isn't it exciting? I wonder what's going to happen on that island once we get there. What's going to happen? I can already predict what will happen. Huh? I already know because I am loved by talent. But no matter what happens, it's of no concern to me. I will not be able to participate in what lies ahead. Oh, really? I don't really understand, but I guess we have to part ways for a while. That's disappointing. We seem to be getting along pretty well. And can I see you again? There's no reason we'll ever meet again. After all, you are boring. Your talent, your thoughts, your entire existence is boring to me. You really don't play along, do you? Ah, finally away from the ship noise. I mean, we're all thinking it, right? We're all thinking that that's Junko's hand, right? Huh? What is this? Hello, door. It is a door. There's a door. Huh? A door? Why is a door here? Where am I? How did I get here? Where am I supposed to go? Perhaps towards this door. I will slide it open. Huh? Isn't this a classroom? But even so, it's a strange classroom. Why am I in a place like this? I went inside the ancient ruin with everyone else. I arrived at a place that looked like a trial ground, but then why? It's not connecting. I don't know why I'm here. It's like there's no connection between how I left the trial ground and how I ended up here. It's just like before. When we were all gathered in that classroom just before we arrived at Jabberwock Island. But where is this place? Is it somewhere on Jabberwock Island? Dun, dun, dun. Still doing that thing.
Ahem, ahem. Testing, testing. Mic check 1, 2. This is a test of the school broadcast system. Am I on? Can everyone hear me? Okay, well then.
Welcome to Hope Speak Academy, you guys. At this point, I shall explain the graduation exam to you all. So please assemble at the gymnasium immediately.
Huh? Did he say what I think he just said? Yes, he definitely said it. He said, welcome to Hope's Peak Academy. But why would this place be Hope's Peak Academy? And not just that, what is the graduation exam? Isn't the killing over already? Yeah, nothing good ever happens in the gym. Oh wow. Even the hallway doesn't feel like school at all. What a creepy place. At least it doesn't look like a normal school at all. It's definitely a lie. There's no way this place is Hope's Peak Academy. Is this creepy place the Hope's Peak Academy that I've admired for so long? It's probably a building that Monokuma made to startle us, just like the funhouse. That's right, that's definitely it. Monokuma said to come to the gymnasium, right? Then I'll go and definitely clear things up. God. Some of the doors are not. The only one we can access, really. The gymnasium is here, right? I mean, I know there's a sign and all, but okay, I'm going inside. Something might be waiting, but I'm not going to cower away anymore. And so I braced myself and cautiously opened the door. Hey, it's chapter 6. Well, as calm as chapter 6 can be. I wasn't prepared for what was waiting for me on the other side of that door. It was a gym. A normal gym.
Damn right.
Yo, Hajime.
Yo,
You heard the announcement came here too. You guys did too, right?
What's going on?
What do you make of all this? Monokuma said this place was Hope's Peak Academy or something?
That is...
That cannot be possible.
Well,
You're right.
yeah.
Any way you look at it, it's impossible. How does it feel to return to the long-awaited Hope's Peak Academy?
Why, you.
Okay, so far I've only seen people who are actually still supposed to be alive. That's comforting, I guess. Hey, where are we? Where'd you lock us up this time? What a shock. I just told you. This is Hope's Peak Academy.
of course not.
There's no way that's true.
No, no.
Oh, but it is. I mean, this is definitely Hope's Peak Academy. Well, what's left of it anyway. What's left of it? Didn't I tell you before? Unfortunately, Hope Speed Academy fell to ruin.
Lies.
You were serious about that?
Stupid fool.
I don't believe it. But of course it fell to ruin. I mean, they were doing things that they deserved to be ruined for. What do you mean?
I don't like this.
Anyway, I'm pretty disappointed. I went to all this trouble to bring you to Hope's Peak Academy and you don't feel surprised or nostalgic?
Fine, fine.
Oh well, it's not like I did this for you guys. Even if you don't feel nostalgic, I'm sure someone is feeling nostalgic right now. Someone?
Don't fuck with me!
Enough with this. Just spit it out already. Where'd you take us? Though I am not certain of my memories, I believe we entered the ancient ruin and...
In other words,
It means I made this Hope's Peak Academy between the door to the ruin and the inside of the ruin. What do you mean between?
Hey, hey, hey!
What do you mean made?
what's this?
Oh my, are your minds getting the grumblies that only knowledge can satisfy? Good, very good. It's fine to hurry along to the graduation exam, but it's in my nature to provide a little entertainment. Entertainment? You're planning to make us do something, aren't you?
No way!
Oh, it's nothing to be so cautious about. It's not like you'll be making life exchanges or anything like that. It's just a simple graduation exam.
Huh?
Then what is this graduation exam?
Hey,
Well, as the headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know. On one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate.
are you sure about
But on the
this?
other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world.
So,
That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island or stay here. Huh? We're obviously gonna get out. There's no way we'd stay here.
That's right!
This is annoying. Just hurry up and let us choose. Let's choose right now.
no,
You
no.
can't do that. The main cast hasn't arrived yet. Wait, what? Main cast?
Hey,
Meaning you guys are just the extras until the guest of honor arrives. What?
damn it.
So enough complaining already. Hurry up and start researching the outside world. What do you mean?
Uh-huh.
I've dispersed all of the teaching materials you need for you to research throughout Hope's Peak Academy. Well, I don't think this needs to be said, but all the information is accurate and contains no lies whatsoever. Otherwise, the main cast is gonna hate me. So please rest assured and strive to do your best during your field trip. Huh. And as usual, after leaving us with his cryptic words, Monokuma disappeared. Even if the setting had changed, even if the killing was finished, he was still the same as usual. What's going on? Outside world? Main cast? Somehow I have a bad feeling about this.
Hey, hey!
Like he kept insisting that this place is Hope's Peak Academy. But that's impossible, right?
What are you saying?
How do we make it back to Hope's Peak Academy from a tropical island in the first place? It's impossible.
It cannot be.
There is no place for Hope's Peak Academy to exist on Jabberwock Island. I said I wanted to go back, but I don't want to go back to a creepy place like this. What does this mean? So many things I don't understand have happened on the island. This building is really Hope's Peak Academy? This is the Hope's Peak Academy I've been admiring for so long? What in the world is going on? Damn it, why is this happening? Why? I was finally able to attend Hope's Peak Academy. I finally thought I'd become confident in myself. Even so, I wanted to become Hope. If that's what you're thinking, just stop it. Listen carefully. The only humans worthy of becoming Hope possess amazing talents and a strong will. And the moment you're born into this world, you either have that or you don't. It has nothing to do with effort. You must be chosen by Hope to become Hope. That's why it's not even worth admiring. Or were you so blinded by your admiration for Hope's Peak Academy that you couldn't even see that? You're just some nobody from the reserve course who never had a talent to begin with. A nobody who forgot he was a nobody. That's all. If I really am a nobody, then you should have just left me alone. Crap. Okay, they're fine. Why? Why do I have to go through something like this? Hajime, did something happen? Huh?
Hey, bastard.
Now's not the time to zone out. Sorry, it's nothing. I really get it, but is that all?
I'm gonna do it!
As long as I don't beat the crap out of Monokuma, nothing's gonna be solved. Is that what it means?
Hey.
Just what the heck is Monokuma anyway? He's not part of the Future Foundation, right? If you say that, then what is the Future Foundation? Even though Chiaki and Monomi are gone, our situation hasn't changed one bit, which means a Future Foundation wasn't our enemy. That's the only thing I can think of.
You serious?
So they're not World Ender? Then we really were tricked by Monokuma?
However...
The Future Foundation is responsible for trapping us on the island, right? Regarding that matter, I believe Monomi never once denied that.
Damn it.
Even if they're our allies, they might not just be allies. Maybe Monokuma is telling us to investigate that information on our own. Chiaki said she could not betray the Future Foundation, but if she were still alive, she definitely would have helped us. No, even her just being with us would have been a big help. So what should we do?
Damn it.
Well, that's obvious. If we're gonna get out of here safely, we have to do that graduation exam, right?
So annoying.
So, no body? Okay. I'm not really good at taking exams. No, I guess it's better than people dying.
Jeez.
Monokuma said something about a field trip, right? Is he telling us to investigate like we have been?
All right!
Gonna do it.
Prepare yourself.
Like...
Yeah, we might be able to learn about something about Hope's Peak Academy. About ourselves. I don't care if we don't know anymore. If we can just go back to our normal lives, I'm fine.
Hey!
We can go home when this is over, right? We can finally get off this island, right? If that's the case, let's all leave this island alive by any means.
Of course!
Alright. Now's not the time to bemoan how unlucky I am. Where this place really is, what's happened to Hope's Peak Academy, none of that matters. What's important is, I need to leave this island with the others. We sacrificed so many lives in order to survive just so we could do that. There's no way we can stop now. But Monokuma should already know that that's what we're thinking. So why did he say that? We have to decide on our own whether or not we want to leave Jabberwock Island. He should already know that we'd never choose to stay on this island. Oh, Hajime, if you'd been around for the first game, you... Well, I guess you weren't.
Hey, hey!
So, what are we gonna do? Can we start already? But, what are we even looking for? Do we just have to investigate this building?
Even so.
I don't think we'll find the answers to all our questions inside this building. Okay, bye, Acne.
Jeez.
What's that you thinking, running ahead without being cautious?
Man.
She obviously isn't thinking about anything.
However...
We'll be fine. There will no longer be any situations where we must exchange each other's lives.
All right!
So we should do our best as well. Like they say, it is not scary if everyone stops at a green light. Everyone stops at a green light. If we stopped at the green light, we'd never reach our goal.
Jeez.
Akane already took off on her own. Might be faster if we split up and look around too. Like Sonia said, if there's no more killing, we don't have to worry about anyone betraying us anymore. Right, sure. Then let's get this over with.
Later.
I'll go on ahead. Those brief words, Fuyuhiku left the gymnasium.
Excuse me?
I shall do my best to obtain a wonderful clue that will be useful to everyone. Sonia took a deep bow and left.
Oh my. Miss Sonia!
And then Soda Bottle went after him. I guess I should hurry and start too. Just a bit more. Just a bit more and it's going to end. I can escape this nightmare and return to my usual peaceful everyday life. The only thing we can do is advance towards that hope. Even though I don't understand, and that a lot of horrifying things keep happening. For the sake of everyone who couldn't make it this far, I'm definitely gonna go home. Wow. Alright.
I knew you could do it.
Still hinted at Monokuma's. Okay, I don't think there's anything in this room. Huh? That's weird. This is the hallway I walked through to get to the gymnasium, but it's clearly different. Is Monokuma's doing too? Is he trying to confuse us again? I don't know how he's doing it, but he keeps doing it over and over again. He's so persistent. I'm not gonna fall for his trap. There's no way this will make me back down. This hallway. There's a strange feeling to it now, as if an invisible wall has been erected to limit our movement. Is music too much? There we go.
I am concerned.
Is it just me? Okay, cool. Is this a dojo? It's full of strange things that make me think there's no way we're inside a school. Perhaps it's a mistake to expect the inside of this building to make sense. What is this? Is this a manga? Manga for Morons, A History of Hope's Peak Academy by Monokuma. Why is a manga with such a suspicious-looking title laying out in the open like this? Let's start with history first, class.
Hey,
Reading manga is the third best way to learn about history. Then what's the first, you ask? That depends on the person. So, just as I thought, Monokuma made this. That totally explains how suspicious it looks. I really want to just ignore it, but there's no way I can do that. Fine, I'll look at it. I'll look at anything that might be a clue to getting out of here, no matter what it is. I picked up the manga off the floor and started flipping through the pages. It's an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy's history as narrated by the cutesy character on the cover. The story begins with an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy is a government-funded school of privilege where only the most talented high school students can hope to attend. Built to raise hope in the nation's future, many of its alumni are key leaders of various industries. New students are chosen through a scouting process, but the ones who scout them are Hope's Peak Academy's teachers, who serve as both educators and researchers of talent. Hope's Peak Academy isn't just a school for talent, it is also a school for researching talent as well. However, for the past few years, Hope's Peak Academy has been suffering from a decline in funding. If this persists, the Academy believes they will not be able to make progress with their research of talent. So they decided to implement a new system, the Reserve Department. Unlike the main department, who scouts for students, the Reserve Department utilizes a general entrance exam. Normal faculty was hired and placed in charge of looking after the Reserve Department. The expenses and exam fees for the Reserve Department are quite high compared to that of most schools. Nevertheless, Hope's Peak Academy received an endless stream of applicants. Hope's Peak Academy was now available to talentless commoners, people who only cared about the brand. With this, Hope's Peak Academy managed to amass sizable funds and begin further research of talent. To create Hope's Peak Academy's earnest wish, a true genius who would become mankind's hope. But just when they thought everything was going well, an unprecedented incident occurred. The incident that triggered the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. That's right, it was the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy was crippled by this incident and was forced to shut down without accomplishing anything. The end. Huh? The ending was so sudden, like a manga that suddenly canceled in the middle of its run. Plus, these phrases mentioned at the end of this manga, the tragedy, and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. These names are so melodramatic. There's no way those incidents really happened, right? This manga only mentions the names, so I don't really know the details, but... No, it's just been a waste of time to wonder about these things that don't make sense. More importantly, I learned something because of this manga. The Reserve Department. That department was only built to collect money. I was one of the Reserve Course students, right?
But hold on.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, you're here again. Ah, the thing that's weird is you, of course. What?
Hey!
Why did you forget that you were part of the Reserve Department? The Future Foundation only took away your school life memories, right? But you should have known even before you entered that you had no talent, right? So I think it's weird that you actually forgot something like that too. What do you want me to say?
By the way...
Based on my assumption, the Future Foundation must have wanted to hide the fact that you were one of those Reserve Course students.
I got it!
Or you willingly sealed those memories yourself. Huh? You wanted to be confident in yourself, so you wanted to forget everything that embarrassed you. You know, when humans experience trauma, sometimes they erase their memory of what happened. It happens pretty often. Not that I know anything about that, though. Are you saying it's my fault I forgot? That's not it.
Come on!
When things get inconvenient, you always get angry and try to brush it off. Well, that's expected of a Reserve Course student. What the heck? Ooh, truth bullet. Okay. I can look at this. Targets. If the production team had more time, there could have been a minigame here. Wait, what am I saying? Nice. Cherry tree. Yoko and Pekka were here. It would have looked truly picturesque. For their sakes as well, I will definitely go home. This cherry tree is in full bloom. The situation just looks bizarre. Okay. A bunch of wooden lockers here. Each of them has a traditional looking wood block key sticking out of them. I guess they're just for show. Nothing in particular looks like a clue, so I won't open any of them. This is a straw post. I guess this means it was used for training. Hey, Failey. Armor and a helmet. Did the map developers design this to reflect a Japanese dojo? Does this monitor serve the same purpose as the monitors on the island? Okay. Looks like I've done this room. Go in there.
What's going on?
Go in there. I literally forgot I had a pet. Hey. Wait. How did I get up to the 5th floor? Wait, this classroom wasn't open earlier, was it? Look, a book. Alright. This is another manga. It's laying on top of the desk. This one is Manga for Morons, The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Wasn't the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy mentioned in that other manga too? It's why Hope's Peak Academy went bankrupt and was the trigger for the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little more about that incident? I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages to see what I could learn about the event known as the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated, stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is, as the name suggests, the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy occurred at Hope's Peak Academy. The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamukura. Izuru was a genius known as a symbol of hope. Hope's Peak Academy used all their resources to develop him. Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents. Wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the ultimate hope. To protect such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. But Izuru, who was known as the symbol of hope, was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students of Hope's Peak Academy Students' Council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and concealed the incident as though it had never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. That student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fires of reserve course students who had long been dissatisfied with how they'd been treated. And the uprising began. And that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Eventually, that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident that would be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Works cited, Danganronpa 0. Neat. Danganronpa 0 is a light novel that exists for this franchise. With a heavy sigh, I close the manga. Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way 13 people were killed at Hope's Peak Academy. What irony for a genius known as the ultimate hope to cause such a gruesome incident. A talent like that is too regal for society. It's like trying to buy juice with a bar of gold. You should be lucky that you're incompetent. Damn it, he always has to lead up to something offensive. Seriously, pisses me off. But ultimate hope? Nagano mentioned that before too, but it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagano said was the true meaning of hope. But for Izuru, hope simply means talent. More importantly, a genius who possesses various talents. I wish they'd given me one of those talents so I didn't have to be in the reserve department. That's right, the reserve department. Here it said the reserve course students in the reserve department began uprising. Then what about me? Was I a participant too? No, that's not possible. There's no way. I have no reason to do something like that. Anyway, I've learned about the tragedy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is a far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? And who's this other student that isn't Izuru? A certain student who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who is that? This incident is really messed up, but all it's doing is raising more questions. The mysteries just keep piling up. Can't go that way. Can't go in there. I've already been in the dojo. Can't go in there. Let's see. Different rooms are opening up as we do different things. I remember this room. What the hell is this room? It's really cold in here. It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. I should hurry up and investigate so I can get out of here already.
I've been found.
There's another manga just laying here. This time the title is Manga for Morons, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. I knew it. The next one would obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? Just what was this incident really all about? It might turn out to be something lame. I flipped through the pages of the manga and hoped that I was right. A story about creepily drawn characters who get involved in such horrifying incidents. An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself was that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sentence. The tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the reserve course students that triggered the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet, and began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. By then it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished, and wanton destruction became their only goal. The strong butchered the weak. The weak killed the weakest among them, and soon the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear. As if the era was regressing to more uncivilized times, when senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism and coup d'etats began occurring around the world. A war raged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religion, or personal gain. Just war. Pure war. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. How could a movement started by high school students progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization, devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope's Peak Academy. A group called Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Hope's Peak Academy's talent for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society used their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. The powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. My heart was racing in my chest, but my body felt ice cold, and it wasn't because I was freezing in this room. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. This is definitely all made up. I mean, if this is really true, then what's happening in the outside world? My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequent, the nearby bookstore, my favorite restaurant? What's happened to them?
No way!
Are you seriously yelling at a manga? Who would enjoy reading something like this? Oh, you don't like my manga. A high school student who doesn't like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy. Enough, what is this messed up manga? I thought you'd obviously know about such a horrible event that destroyed the world, but for you to not remember that's such despair. That's the Future Foundation's fault, though, thanks to them stealing your school memories. The incident that happened during that period has been completely removed from your brains. This incident really happened and I actually forgot about it? There's no way that's possible.
What are you saying?
How many times do I have to tell you? All the clues here are real.
Hello.
Please understand I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer for it. I just want to help you guys out so you can live well-adjusted lives in the outside world. I see. So that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said at the beginning. Oh, great. The graduation thing. He's trying to make us feel despair towards the outside world so we won't want to stay on this island. There's no way I'm gonna go do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope. Just like now. Perhaps no, that's definitely it. Whether or not this incident really happened, what in the world is this ultimate despair group? If they're devoted to a certain student who guided Hope's Peak Academy to its destruction, are they connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Plus, that organization isn't just one person, but a group of people. But if they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're high school students, right? Well, if they're actually able to do it, then I guess that's why they're called Ultimates. Then, are the killings we're involved in connected to them as well? It's no use, I'm going to freeze to death. I'm at my limit, I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room. Oh, that was close. I nearly froze to death. So where should I go next? Well, I guess we gotta see if the death room is open yet. leaves one other classroom and plant room. No, I should ignore it. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see him. Really? But what if he's... Oh, he's not.
No!
Oh, there's another thing I needed to tell you on this floor. I got bored drawing manga. Can you forgive me by telling you by word of mouth? You should have done that from the beginning. I didn't want to read your manga in the first place. A high school student who doesn't like manga. It's like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating hot pots. You're really fed up with your babbling. What do you need to tell me? It's about the key piece of information you've been waiting so long for. Surprise! It's about ultimate despair. Even though the term ultimate despair refers to a group these days, it was originally the title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, and feared person alive. A high school girl.
Yes, indeed!
Lady Junko Enoshima.
Hey,
As the former ultimate despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor, and created the ultimate despairs. There was one really horrible person in that group.
don't fuck with me!
I don't know what the ultimate despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization. There's no way people would join some effed up organization created by a high school girl. Humans who are obsessed with their philosophy have an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it.
Hey,
That holds true for Lady Junko. With her charismatic ability to attract people, she even influenced those in the highest echelons of power. Her connections were the main reason that incident became the tragedy in the first place. So she even recruited people who would have been in a position to neutralize the threat? Then what was their purpose? What? Like I said, why did they cause that incident? Doesn't even make sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way they do something they did without any purpose.
hey,
It was Junko Enoshima's despair. Huh? For Junko, despair isn't about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko as Junko. What are you saying? I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. He's exactly like that. Junko is full of so much despair that's she's truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving, for her, everything is despair. What? With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the ultimate despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, anything really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea has been slammed right into their minds. And so, the ultimate despairs who had been recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs. All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else's, was dedicated to Junko. Like believers making offerings to their gods. Like a mother providing food to her children. They dedicated all despair so they could escape from despair, all in Junko's name. For example, they killed their families and friends and even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation. And to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed it was something that they had to do. There's no way something that crazy is possible. Do you know about the final days of the reserve corps students during the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Final days?
in other words,
Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history. What do you mean, final days? What happened to the reserve department?
of course!
They fulfilled their role as disposable limbs. They believed in what they needed to do. And so, 2,357 students of the reserve department all committed mass suicide. What?
What'd you say?
That's a lot. It wasn't all of them. One person was excluded. One person, huh? Was that me?
Damn it.
There's no way I can believe this. Ultimate despair, Junko. It doesn't scare me at all.
Bastard!
And Junko's already dead. Huh? Hey, Fuyuko. Is it true what you said? Junko's already dead?
Huh?
What? You didn't see? There was a book called Manga for Morons Killing School Life in that bloody classroom. Wait, a bloody classroom? No, wait, what was it you said about killing school life? Like the killings we were involved in, they were killings that happened at Hope's Peak Academy. As I recall, the mastermind took their own life because the remaining students worked together to defeat her.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was. The killing school life ended up failing in the end. As a result, the 6 students who survived managed to escape from the academy.
Hey.
For a manga about killing school life, it was drawn with a lot of silly images and dumb gags. According to that, the mastermind behind the failed killing school life was Junko. The mastermind took her own life, which means Junko was dead.
Like...
Turns out the killing school life was part of that whole biggest, most awful whatever incident. Junko took away the memories of former students of Hope's Peak Academy and forced them to kill each other. Former students of Hope's Peak Academy. And she took away their memories. That's just like us! Apparently the whole thing is being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. There's a limit to being cruel. The surveillance cameras were broadcasting the whole thing.
So...
The students of Hope's Peak Academy are widely known as symbols of hope. By forcing people to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for the sake of survival, they were trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair all at once. That's messed up. But that messed up plan was stopped. Junko failed. Junko lost to the students she placed in her trap, and after being overcome by the despair she created, she took her own life. Then Junko's no more? No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead. Uh-huh. Whether Monokuma's story is true or not doesn't matter.
Bastard!
Junko isn't alive anymore. Then, who is our enemy? If Junko is already dead, are the rest of the ultimate despairs behind this? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the killings we're involved in resemble that killing school life. Well, I don't know who the hell is imitating Junko and making us go through this, but an imitation is just that, an imitation.
No shit!
If the students from Hope's Peak Academy stop the real deal, there's no way we'll lose to some fake. But if this is really an imitation, are those surveillance cameras the same too? The cameras are all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting to somewhere just like the surveillance cameras during the killing school life? Hajime, you totally know about that story. What, do you have a problem with that? Well, I really wanted you to read manga version since I took the time to draw it.
What are you gonna do?
Oh well, just raise the flag. Flag? What do you mean raise the flag? What's gonna happen if you do that? One step at a time, you're getting closer to clearing my character route. You're not making sense again.
Well then.
Now then, I'll give you guys my all. I'll tell you everything I know, including information on the outside and the inside. I'll raise some flags like crazy. Changed to a different hallway again. So sudden, what's going on to make something like this happen? No, I've already decided. I'm not going to be surprised. That's right, there's no time for me to just be surprised by something like this. Alright, that's weird. I'm gonna just take a brief break. I'll be right back. back. Right, we're in a new hallway. Ah, they stuck us down on the 4th floor. Alright, can't go in there. Can I go? Can't go in there. Can't go in there. Can't go in there. Can't go in there. Oh, I can go in the piano room. This looks like, well, the music room and, like, some other stuff. I feel like I can see something strange. Looks like it's some sort of monument? Why would there be a monument in a music room? Not just that, the mark engraved into the monument is the symbol of the Future Foundation, right? Below that symbol there's a short passage engraved. To combat the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy were among the many who established the Future Foundation. Oh, interesting. The Future Foundation was established by graduates of Hope's Peak Academy? Aren't they known as World Ender? This is completely different. Monokuma, he completely made it up. What is this? Words are floating in the air. This is like a hologram, right? The floating letters are forming a sentence. It looks like a passage from an email. Regarding the report we gave you the other day, we have obtained information a person who claims to be a survivor of Hope's Peak Academy. Upon further investigation, there are a total of 15 survivors. You may be wondering about the number of people at this time. If they're survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, it's possible they may be targeted by ultimate despair. We believe we should acquire them and place them in our care as soon as possible. Though I don't believe the group can go that far without Junko rallying them. In a worst-case scenario, we must prevent a repeat of the killing school life. Oh. Also, they are survivors of Hope's Peak Academy. We should expect them to be quite valuable to us. However, we are still investigating the details of their origins, and we haven't located them either. We will continue investigating this matter. Also, regarding a separate matter, we have received a report from the research facility on Jabberwock Island. Preparations have been completed. It seems we can proceed with the experimental phase of the Neo World program. Survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, huh? 15 students. Is that about us? There were 16 of us, though, weren't there, when we started? Excluding Chiaki, who was part of the Future Foundation, there were definitely 15 of us, but what does survivors mean? It's like they're talking from some other world. What happened outside Jabberwock Island? If the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is really true, then the world isn't normal anymore. Maybe. I'm starting to feel like we might be better off not remembering the memories we've lost. I guess that's all the clues in this room. The two giant glowing things. It's finally confirmed. The Future Foundation is on our side, at least. They were founded by the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy, and they took us in to protect us. But if that's true, Chiaki should have made that clear to us. No, as long as Monokuma was around, she probably couldn't say anything carelessly. Monokuma, if he's the Future Foundation's enemy, then his true identity must be The ultimate despairs who caused the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The ones who are carrying out the will of Junko are making us go through this. Also, this caught my attention in the email, too. What is this research facility on Jabberwock Island mentioned in the email? What's that about? The only future Foundation facility we found was that ancient ruin. There's no way that's the research facility. If there really is a research facility on the island, there should be other future Foundation members here. Somehow, there's still so many mysteries. Adios, I mean, I guess we've already played through the first game, so it's not like saying stuff about the first game is spoilers. But if you're here with that kind of intention, I will banhammer you so quickly. This feels different from a classroom.
Maybe.
That's probably the office, right? I mean, the room kind of has a stuffy teacher vibe to it. The office, huh? Now that you mention it, it does look like that.
Well.
More importantly, have you seen Miss Sonia? I don't see her anywhere. How much longer is this guy gonna be obsessed with Sonia? Give it up already. Ah, there he is.
Huh? Are you serious?
Alright. Flowers on top of the desk? Those they look strange to me. Are my eyes just tired? There are letters floating in the air, like the music room from earlier. Looks like a passage from an email someone wrote. I think it's the same from the one from earlier. I guess I should read it. We understand this matter regarding the survivors. In order to safely acquire them, please do your best and continue your investigation. Probably not gonna finish this game today. I can only stream till about 1. However, you must exercise extreme caution concerning the remnants of despair. Even though they have lost Junko, the fact remains that they are incredibly dangerous. Even after her death, the tragedy has not ended. Perhaps there is still a leader on par with Junko. As long as we do nothing about the remnants of despair, we will not be able to end this instant. For this reason, the remnants of despair must be immediately eliminated once they are discovered. Everything is for the sake of a shining future. Immediately eliminated? Does that mean this is an order to kill them? That doesn't sound peaceful at all. Well, I guess that's understandable. If the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is as terrible as it sounds, it's pretty much all out war. If the remnants of despair are the ones waging that war, there's no way they'd be forgiven that easily. There's something written on the blackboard. What's written here? List of subjects is written on the blackboard in large letters. Just below that are names I've seen before. There's a newspaper posted on the blackboard below that Hyoko is written there. What is this newspaper? She looks different. What is this? It says Miss Hyoko. This can't be the same Hyoko. I mean, the Hyoko we knew. She was much smaller and looked more childlike. It was pretty much her defining feature. But the photo in this newspaper, in a way I can see the resemblance to Hyoko, but her height and figure, it's too different from the Hyoko we knew. What does this mean? Honestly, it looks pretty mature. Is she Hyoko's older sister? No, it says Hyoko here. Okay, then maybe Hyoko has an older sister with the same first and last name. An older sister with the same first and last name.
I mean...
That's the only explanation, right? I mean, look at it yourself. That's not Hyoko. But did you ever hear her mention an older sister?
Man...
It's not like I was that close to her or anything.
Wrong.
She doesn't have an older sister. Hyoko is the Sayonji family's only daughter. If she doesn't have a sister, then a relative? No, there's still too much of a resemblance.
What are you saying?
Huh?
Of course
What are
not!
you saying? Hyoko doesn't have a curvy body like this. I mean, she was famous for her childlike figure. She got away with all kinds of crap for looking like that.
Well...
I don't know what to tell you. Maybe she had a growth spurt. What are you saying? She's already dead. There's no way she could have had a growth spurt.
Today,
Well,
I'm feeling
regardless,
white.
all the clues I've provided are true. If they weren't, it wouldn't be fair.
What's going on?
What the heck? This is the truth? If this is the truth, then Hyoko in this newspaper... Is he really saying this is the same person? That's impossible. I mean, how can there be a photo of a grown-up Hyoko when she's already dead? Why? Why does this even exist?
Hey,
Could it be related to that list of subjects over there? Huh?
this is bad.
If it says subjects, maybe it means there was some kind of experiment, right? Did that experiment change Hyoko's body? Oh, what am I saying? Just saying it out loud makes it sound messed up. What experiment? If it's some kind of experiment, it could mean that we're also test subjects, right? I mean, our names are also written on the blackboard under the list of subjects. But what kind of experiment was it?
What's going on?
It's better not to have anything to do with time travel. Why is Chiaki's name under the list of subjects, though? I feel like I've seen it before, but the name etched into the placard says Hope's Peak Academy founder, Izuru Kamikura? The founder of Hope's Peak Academy, and his name is Izuru? Doesn't this clearly contradict the information I obtained earlier? Another mystery. Okay, with this, you've totally raised all the flags on this floor. Congratulations, you shall now go on to the next stage. Next stage? Alright. Not again. The hallway is different from the last time. I guess when that flag Monokuma mentioned is raised, I moved to a different hallway than the last. But how can he do that? No, now's not the time to be confused by that. Thinking about it, it's just gonna waste my energy. Wow, Hajime's never played video games before, has he? Alright. right. There's a billiard table, dartboard, shelf lined with magazines. Hard to think a room like this actually exists inside a school. Really, I can't look at the strange. Fine. Let's look at this file. It's a file with Hope's Peak Academy seal on it. It says confidential. That means this is a big secret, right? Why would an important document be here? Why am I even asking a question like that? Obviously Monokuma is responsible. Anyway, I need to confirm what's inside the file. About the Hope Cultivation Plan. For many years, Hope's Peak Academy has conducted rigorous research into various talents. The Hope Cultivation Plan seeks to use the fruits of their labor to further a true goal. With our hands, we will birth a true hope that will bring hope to the entire world. Truly, the program is the next innovation in providing the ultimate education. This plan has been the Academy's wish since its foundation, so we must succeed at all costs. What followed was a series of detailed instructions and intricate orders. It was full of difficult technical terms, and I had no idea what any of them meant. However, the word true hope left a strong impression on my mind for some reason. The Hope Cultivation Plan was created for the sake of birthing true hope. Hope's Peak Academy was behind something like that. I don't really get it, but there's something else about these words. True hope, huh? Anything in the make... I see, anything not nailed down, huh? A lot of different magazines, cameras, blah blah blah. Okay, nothing important. Alright. This hologram again. What's this one say? Looks like another email passage. Regarding the report we gave you the other day, we have finally succeeded in acquiring them and have placed them in our care. Though they were all dispersed, we were successful in acquiring all 15 of them. Due to the fact that we were unable to ask them about specific details, it is unknown how they managed to survive the tragedy. It's been reported that some are wounded, so it seems certain that they survived under harsh conditions. Over the course of our detailed investigation, we determined that they are the same age as the others. So we've decided to entrust them to the survivors of the killing school life. As for the remnants of despair, there are still no solid leads regarding this matter, and we have no new information to report. We will continue with the investigation. Once they are discovered, we shall eliminate them immediately. Everything is for the sake of a future filled with hope. It says here that they succeeded in acquiring them and have placed them in our care. That means we should have been protected by the Future Foundation, right? Then why is this happening? If the Future Foundation was protecting us, why were we forced to kill each other on this island? Well, I guess it's not possible that the Future Foundation set this all up.
What's this?
My, Hajime. If you keep worrying like that, you're gonna get a toothache and collapse. It's your fault. What is this hologram thing anyway?
Hey,
It's exactly what it looks like. They're the Future Foundation's emails. I thought they made the perfect clue, so I did a little bit of hacking here and there to get them. You can even do that? Whoever's controlling you seems to possess many talents.
No, no.
Well, who cares about me anyway? That's not important at all. There's no way that's not important. His true identity should connect everything to what's happening right now. Huh. Ah! Uh-huh. Okay. I know I went on a break not that long ago, but I gotta go on one again because I gotta get more drink. I can't do this game and not have drink, so I'll be right back. Okay. Looks like I'm in a different hallway again. I'm pretty much used to it by now, but even so, what is this space? Am I dreaming or something? I mean, this is just totally disconnected from reality. Oh man, alright. Ah. Where am I? Okay, no, I went the wrong way. Just gonna go in the library, hope it's turned up around. Oh, well this must be a library. Monokuma probably left something here too. I should hurry up and find it. Okay, I always see those. And I don't see anything hiding anywhere. Okay. This hologram again. Must be another one of the Future Foundation emails. I should read it. There's no doubt that it's another clue. To Future Foundation 14th Division, Makoto. Oh, main character from first game. Where are you guys? What are you doing right now? What you're doing is a series of act of treason. Do you understand? Why are you protecting the remnants of despair? It should be abundantly clear to you how dangerous it is to keep these people alive. Stay calm and think about this carefully. You guys are being lied to. Think carefully about what's important to bring the light of hope to the world. The 6 of you joined the Future Foundation because you agreed with our ideals, right? Oh. The Future Foundation rescued you from the tragedy you survived and cooperated with recovering your memories. Immediately return the remnants of despair to our headquarters. Unless we eliminate them, the tragedy will never end. Everything is for the sake of a future filled with hope. What does this mean? This email suggests that someone was trying to let the remnants of despair escape. This email is addressed to Makoto? Well, he's with the Future Foundation, right? Then why was he trying to protect the remnants of despair? Did he betray the Future Foundation? Alright. It sounds like all of them betrayed, though. Huh? Didn't I walk into a classroom? I don't really get it, but, well, this looks like a laundry room. No use worrying about it, but I was in a school and now I'm suddenly in a laundry room.
No.
Oh, this looks like a tablet computer. And the power is on. How fortunate. Is this the next clue? I picked up the tablet and immediately started examining it. The Neo World program. This word, Neo World. I seem to recall hearing it and seeing it a few times already. The Neo World program has another name. Psychotherapeutic Communication Simulator. The Neo World program is built with the most recent psychotherapy technology and administrative software to develop the Neo World program. Oh, we're totally inside a computer. Individuals such as the ultimate programmer, the ultimate neurologist, and the ultimate therapist were among the many talented people whose research results were utilized. By mounting a device to the cranium, the Neo World program allows its subjects to experience a synthetic virtual world. Additionally, the Neo World program has another feature. It can replace memories formed in the real world with information contained in the synthetic virtual world. Therefore, it is possible to undo trauma sustained in the real world through the use of the virtual world. However, this device is for psychotherapeutic purposes only. Any other use is expressly forbidden. Though it is highly effective in treating brainwashing, abusing the device risks total personality destruction. Thus, extreme care must be exercised when operating this program. Slowly, everything around me turned black. Synthetic virtual world. Program. A feeling of emptiness, like everything is being tainted. A feeling of weakness, like the world is collapsing beneath my feet. Everything is starting to feel meaningless. The desperate attempts, the sad goodbyes, the conflicts, the trust I felt until now, it's all disappearing until all I feel is despair. Ah! I screamed loudly as if I was confirming the sound of my own voice. There's no way I can accept this. I am starting to accept that there's no way something as crazy as this actually exists.
Nice!
You gotta raise the flags more in order to clear my character out. Now then, despair is waiting for you. Impossible. This is impossible. It's all made up. Everything is all made up. Made up. Including me too? Neo World program. Whoa. Hey, how are you doing? Did you enjoy the Killing School trip? By the way, do you guys remember the speech I made at the beginning? From this point on, I promise you a world that truly deserves to be called a game. You guys are the only ones watching this who can save them. The end of the world is nigh. What you gonna do? What's gonna happen? Isn't it exciting? Isn't it heart-throbbing? Look forward to it. This hallway. When we first arrived here, I walked down this hallway from the classroom to get to the gym. I don't really see a resemblance, but... Ugh. Gum. Gah. Oh, I can't go that way. go in this classroom. Okay, this is somewhat easier to... I don't know why the monolith is here, but... Is this floating? That's impossible. There's no way something this big would be floating like this. Yeah, yes. That's the weird part of this game. In everything that we've walked through. Good job, Hajime. But what in the world is this? The moment I looked at that object... Are we in a boss fight? Welcome. Welcome to the Neo World program. A person? A floating person is talking to me? But who is it? No, this even a person in the first place? Ah, I'm not quite a person. I'm simply an artificial intelligence program from Game 1. It would make me happy if you called me Alter Ego. That is the name my master gave me when he created me. It can talk? But what are you? Alter Ego. Artificial intelligence program. I am the master program behind the Neo World program. I'm responsible for creating and overseeing this world. However, only the observer has the authority to directly influence you guys. I can't actually exert much influence. In fact, my existence is one that you don't normally meet. I'm sort of like an apartment manager or something. I may oversee the entire apartment building, but I lack the power to manage individual rooms. But the virus has infected everything I'm supposed to be managing. Because of that, this world I'm managing is acting very peculiar. Hold on. My brain can't follow what you're saying. Let me gather my thoughts first. It's that feeling from earlier again. This floating like my feet are hovering above the floor. It's like I can't feel my feet on the ground. Like I can't even believe my own existence. Well, you should know, right? Where is this place? Tell me, what is the Neo World program? The Neo World program has omitted the data collection procedure for shaping the entire world. As such, only the data we collected during the experimental stage is being utilized. Specifically, that means the data detailing Jabberwock Island, where this research facility is located. This is why the previous Jabberwock Island cityscape was restored. Ergo, if I am to answer your question, where is this place? The answer would be mostly Jabberwock Island. Certain portions of it are different depending on the circumstances. For example, the school you're in. It appears this space is entirely under the virus's influence. That's probably why I'm appearing before you two. However, even without the virus, these circumstances are a bit unnatural. It seems the launch was rushed, and because of that, there wasn't enough time to collect any data. I'm sorry, I don't really know the circumstances of the outside world. After all, I'm simply the overseer of the Neo World program. Most of its words, I understood what they meant, but I couldn't understand what was being said. There was no way for me to acknowledge it as the truth. It would make much more sense if this was a fictional world. Wait, are you saying this world is a fictional world? And I feel like I can't believe what's going on here. This missing sense of reality. All the mysteries, all the truths. They're all just fiction. Is that... Even so, I need to know. I need to know what this world is. Hey, can you tell me? Can you? What was the Neo World program used for in the first place? The Neo World program serves only one purpose. It's used to make the real world a splendid one. I guess you could say it's a program for creating hope. A program for creating hope? But the fact that we're here and the fact that we don't have our memories, that's all the program's fault, right? Deleting memory is the first step toward replacing memory. Replacing memory data is one of the features of the Neo World program. With the installed memory control unit, it is possible to remove any time period you set it to. and from there, you upload the memories obtained in the virtual world. Removing memories of any time period you set it to? So Monokuma was right. We did lose our school memories. But why? Why us? Why were our school memories taken away? There's a reason for that, right? That is a mystery to me too. Booting the program on the survivors of Hope's Peak Academy while it's still in its experimental stage. I'm sure there was a very good reason, but unfortunately I don't know what's happening in the outside world. I'm sorry. Are you saying we're lab rats? It's the only thing I can think of. It sounds like we're just lab rats. The Future Foundation did that to us? But they're trying to save the world, right? Or is the Future Foundation not our ally? I'm sorry, I can't provide that much help. If only I was more reliable. I wouldn't have lost my authority to a virus like this. All these new words make my head feel like it's about to burst. Can you tell me more about the Observer and that virus? Well, for this session, the Neo World program was programmed to house 15 people, along with 2 monitors. 2 monitors? Yeah, they were disguised as a teacher and one of the students. They were intended to guide the participants in this way. By the way, the observer in the teacher role has been given the authority to influence you all. But the observer in the student role was not. They weren't given any special authority at all, so they'd seem the same as everyone else. What kind of authority does the teacher role have? As an example, the teacher creates the rules of this world and manages them. If the teacher is properly managing the rules they've created, there's no risk of abuse. But because of the virus infecting everything, that has changed. And it changed this world where violence shouldn't have existed in the first place. The Neo World program would have promised eternal peace. But just like the outside world, it's become a world filled with violence and death. What is this virus? I don't really know the details behind its true identity, but that function is beyond my capabilities. No matter how much I try to stop it, it behaves as if it already knows what I'm attempting to do. In the end, it stole the portion of my abilities which contained my authority to build the world. It was a grandmaster chess player. I desperately tried to fight back so it wouldn't have complete control. But even so, a portion of the world has been modified at its convenience. She's probably talking about Monokuma Rock in the funhouse. Based on what she's saying, it sounds like she's on the receiving end of a one-sided attack. But Alter Ego should be an impressive artificial intelligence the Future Foundation created. I can tell that just by communicating with her. Which means this supposed virus is so smart that it surpasses this Alter Ego? If so, does that virus possess an artificial intelligence just like her? What the heck? An artificial intelligence waging an attack against another one? That's so irritating. Irritating. Well, how did that virus infect the Neo World program? The Neo World program exists in isolation. It's impossible it was infected through a network. I'm fairly certain someone physically uploaded it. Physically? Perhaps someone secretly brought an external memory drive containing the virus into the facility and directly uploaded it into the main computer when the Neo World program is installed. Based on my calculations, that's mostly likely what happened. It was brought to the Future Foundation's facilitating. But the only person who could enter that facility is someone who was a member of the Future Foundation. What am I thinking? Why am I assuming that what I just heard is the truth? Why am I assuming that everything is a lie? But it's true that the virus is powerful and that I'm completely overwhelmed by it. But I'm still able to defend the essential areas. So it has a limit too. Limit? If it took over an observer, then it has to follow the rules of an observer. such as, in order to end the program and release everyone, I need to follow the correct procedure.
Hey, come on now.
Okay, even if you're just a god in the machine, that's enough hints from you.
How strange.
You're gonna say something more. Suppose that you exist between life and death. The death of yourself is inevitable. If so, it can be parallel to the defluctuation based on the definition of existence that constitutes the relationship. From there, the paradigm change results by being cut off rapidly and causes a situation where your own existence is unobservable and accelerates and crosses with the joint ownership of the world, and the situation from the context invites your death. Hey. Uh-huh. Oh, hey look, it's, Makoto? It just happened. You're right there, aren't you? Someone is right there, right? Huh? Who are you? Are you different from the earlier one? Maybe he can't hear my voice from this side. I'm currently talking to the world through Alter Ego. Ever since you guys vanished into that space, the video's feedback has been pretty distorted. But even so, we were forced to watch you this entire time. Huh? The things you guys were forced to do, we were forced to watch it. Forced to watch us. I really wanted to save you right away, but because of the virus's interference, I couldn't. Our orders are no longer being accepted, including shutdown requests. The New World program is beyond our control now. In that world, that person created an independent country that doesn't accept outside interference. But Alter Ego created an opportunity for me to speak to you directly. If this means that's working, then it means the person I need to talk to is right there, I hope. Looks like this guy can't even hear or see me. Just who is this guy anyway? Is he our ally? Since there's no time, I'm gonna say what I need to say and believe you're there listening to me. But first I should apologize to everyone. I know apologizing won't help, but we didn't imagine something like this would happen. We never expected such an atrocious virus was lurking inside the Neo World program. But that's entirely our fault. It's our responsibility for not realizing until it was too late. But it's not just the virus either. I can't say for sure that the program didn't have any problems in the first place. To tell you the truth, I was unsure about whether or not to run the program on you guys. But this was the only way to save you all. I wanted to save you guys. Save us? What did you want to save us from? Why would this save us? You've already seen the password to enter the graduation exam ground, right? You know, 11037. That's the number that was found at Nezumi Castle. The door at the ancient ruin was supposed to open after you all finished gathering the hope fragments. From there, you guys were supposed to challenge the graduation exam. However, I prepared that password just in case something went wrong. Like I said earlier, I had my doubts that this program was perfect. Even if the chance was slim, I thought the observer might end up going rogue. That's the reason I left the password in, a place where the teacher role would not be able to go. I never thought Nagito, who saw it first, would erase that password. Anyway, I'm also the person who set the password to that number. That number contains a secret. Someone close to me left that number to save me when I was in a dilemma. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm entrusting that will to you all. I've entrusted it to your future. But that person is trying to abuse the graduation exam. I'm sure they are going to crush you with despair using the graduation exam that's waiting for you. But I want you guys to endure it without giving up on hope. I want you guys to withstand it until I get there. Because I have a secret to defeat them. Does that mean he has a secret plan to defeat Monokuma? In a worst-case scenario where an observer who has the role of teacher goes rogue, I've prepared a hidden command to use at the graduation exam site. It's the forced shutdown sequence. Forced shutdown sequence? Even a teacher's authority can't stop that command. It's a way to end this that you guys can choose on your own, independently of the observer. Which means, even if they stole the teacher's authority, they shouldn't be able to stop it. If you use that, you guys will win. However, in order to start the force shutdown sequence, you need more than half the number of people. And in order to do that, I need to somehow get that number. Oh, there's not enough of us, is there?
Say what?
What was that just now? Hey, Hajime, what was that weirdness just now? Nothing really. I see.
Anyway.
Oh well. Anyway, that's all the hints you're gonna get. That no good artificial intelligence tells you any more useless stuff. I'm gonna butt in again. Did Monokuma not notice what just happened? It's been a while since I've spoken at length, but it was important to talk to you. It was worth waiting a long time here. Hey, about that guy just now. There shouldn't be anything else for you to ask me. I see. It'd be bad if Monokuma overheard us. That means Monokuma doesn't know about the conversation I had with that guy just now. You guys have a weapon. A very powerful weapon. It all depends on how you guys use that weapon. The only thing I can do is prevent the virus's invasion with all my might so you guys can use that weapon. The rest is up to you all. Do your best. But what do we have to do our best at? The mystery's getting solved. I'm finally starting to see the truth. But what are we supposed to do when that truth is really a lie? We know we're working towards a conclusion that nobody wants to hear. But still, do we really need to work hard and do our best? Is there really a reason to do our best? If everything was a lie? Then isn't everything just meaningless? It's the same for the killings, too. Even though we had to experience something as painful as that, something as tragic as that, wouldn't all that be meaningless, too? When the world is flipped over and becomes so irrational, what am I supposed to do?
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in?
It's time for the long-awaited graduation exam. Please enter the red door located on the first floor of Hope Speak Academy.
See you soon.
A red door, huh? It's just a waste of time thinking about what this all means right now. For now, I need to finish this. I need to just focus on that. Oh, game. He means this red door, right? Do I just have to go in there? If I do that, will this be finished? Bah. Oh, I can move. Yay. Oh, I can move forward. I think. Oh, good, I can access my pet. Yep. Well, glad we're out of there, I think. Okay, cool. A somewhat normal looking room. Huh. This place.
Yo.
Looks like everyone's here.
Damn right.
Seems that this is going to be the final place.
However,
This place is... Is this a trial field? But why is it a trial field? Sure looks like a trial ground, but the vibe is way different from the one than before. We've been here before, right? Yeah, this should be the place that the door to the ancient ruin leads to.
Hey,
Seems pretty strange that we've been in the other building up till now.
damn it.
It's like we're dreaming or something. If this is a dream, then this too is very...
Welcome!
Oh, so you finally arrived. Congratulations, you guys are the first ones to ever beat this game. After stopping by Hope's Peak Academy, you finally come back to this place. To the graduation exam site within the ancient ruins of Jabberwock Island.
You.
You can give it a fancy name like graduation exam site, but it's no different than the trial ground from before. This trial field actually inspired the one from before, so in a way, this place is the original.
Hey, hey.
Who cares? This graduation exam means we can finally go home, right?
Of course!
That's what you guys decide.
Huh?
And if we have to decide, what do we have to do?
Now then.
Please take a look at the LCD touch panel built into your seats. Compared to the other trials, the rules are much simpler this time.
Yes, indeed!
There are two options, graduate and repeat. You just have to choose one of them and press it. All you have to do is cast your vote, and whichever one has the majority will be considered your final decision. If you don't press either one of them, it will be treated as an absence and will not be counted.
In other words,
Which means everyone who has died up till now will have their votes treated as absences.
then...
The result's based on our majority vote. If graduate is chosen by a majority vote, from there, an event that's kinda like a graduation ceremony called the graduation program will begin. Even if we do this stupid majority vote, the result's already pretty damn obvious. We can press it now, right?
No!
No, you can't do that yet. I mean, your resolve hasn't firmed yet, right? Your will to be swept away by society's harsh current.
Shut up! Shut up!
Who the hell cares? I'm gonna press it.
What's this?
Which of your orifices are you using to spew bile? To participate in the graduation program, you need my final say as your teacher, you know. What does that mean? It won't end with just a majority vote?
That's right!
After the vote, I'm going to judge every single one of you to see if it's okay for you to graduate or not.
Damn it.
So even if we vote, you're saying we won't graduate unless you acknowledge it?
Well...
I'm terribly sorry for being rude earlier.
No way!
But you don't have to worry. There's no way I won't acknowledge your graduations. This is merely a formality. I'm just doing it because that's how it has to be. He's doing it because it's how it has to be. Doesn't mean he can exert his will over everything. He too has a limit. Is this what Alter Ego was talking about?
Anyway...
You don't want to do it. You guys still need to do it to solve the mystery. Afterward, you can cast your majority votes, and from there, we move on to the graduation program. But why do we even have to go through something so dumb? Well, that is... You said you were waiting for the main cast, right? Which means you're just stalling for time, then. Who's the main cast? Oh no, need to worry about it. It has nothing to do with you guys.
That is...
There's no way it has nothing to do with us. We're the only ones who are involved, you know.
so annoying.
Doesn't matter if you're involved or not. You're just a bunch of chumps in the big picture. That's why it has nothing to do with you. Just perform your roles without complaining.
You pissed me off.
Hold on, what's that chump comment?
I can't ignore that.
It's not important or anything. Make sure you turn off that toy.
I won't forgive you.
How dare you treat him like a toy?
What's this?
I did treat it like a toy. You got a problem with that? I created everything. You're actually picking a fight with me? I'm basically a god. Just how promising can you guys be? I guess this is just the nature of life. Fine then, before you die, sear my power into your memories. Chapter 0 and 6. Oh, hello. Hello, world. Nice. Your old lunch order? Hello. Okay, just says hello. I think I have every skill that I can have already set. I've got a lot of manga. During the graduation exam. Yeah, if the trial is long, I actually think we should probably just stop here. Because I can't go past 1 today. And I can only do the 2 hours tomorrow. So maybe what we'll do is we'll stop here. Tomorrow we'll do Stardew Valley for a couple of hours. And then on Thursday, because Thursday I can go for as long as I need to. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. So, even though it ends the stream a little bit short, yeah, we're gonna stop here for today. And, yeah, we'll resume the rest of this game on Thursday. When I know I have the time to do it. So, yeah, tomorrow, 10 a.m. To noon, we'll do Stardew Valley. We're still, I think, in our first week on our farm, so that'll be cool. And we'll wrap this game up on Thursday. And then Friday, I believe I'm actually on Now Kiss Friday morning, so I'll have to find a different stream time for Friday. And actually put all my stream information back up on the info tabs, because I haven't had a chance to do that yet. But we'll do that. Yeah, so thanks for hanging out, thanks for lurking, chatting, cheering just like Fickle Muse and Kavina have done, and I see Oak as well. I don't think I acknowledged any of those earlier. Thank you very much for that. Cheering, lurking, streaming, subscribing, following, chatting. Yeah, and I'll see you all tomorrow. So, take care. Goodbye.